Hello everybody, this is your boy Killer Kills Gaming, back to you today with a live GTA 5 Benny's Merge video. Today I'm going to be showing those who may not know, there was a video who came out earlier today about how to get the street tires on your Sanchez. You can also do the same thing with the Sanchez with the livery on it. I noticed that earlier that when I was getting the Sanchez with the livery on it, I noticed this one thing. Whenever you go to Southern San Andreas to buy the Sanchez with the livery on it, these are the only options that you get right here. The Sprunk livery, the Atomic livery, the Patriot livery, and this one right here. Okay, so for the purpose of the video, I am going to just click on this one, just randomly click on this one, and I'm going to buy this Sanchez. I'm going to have this delivered to my clubhouse. And while I'm waiting for that to be delivered, I'm going to go ahead and set up the bike that's going to allow you to put those street tires on that Sanchez. This is what I used on the last bike. Now with the livery, you don't have to worry about the color because the color will not be seen. You're only going to be seeing the color that is on the wheels, and I will show you an example. I'm waiting for the bike to show up anyway, so this is what I did, and this is delivery that is going to become available once you do this, and I'll show you. I didn't have any plans on, I was just trying to get the colored rims with the street tires on the bike. I didn't have any plans on really changing the livery, but for some stupid reason I just went in and done it anyway, and I seen that there was an extra option that wasn't there when you were buying the bike. So just for curiosity's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and set up that roofing or roofing, however you want to call it. So we're just going to go ahead and take this into the mod shop. We're not going to worry about what kind of wheels is on this car or nothing, because of course the only thing that's going to go is the color. So that's the only thing we're worried about right here. Alright, so I hit that right. I'm going to come in this car and we're going to change one thing.
What's it going to be? So, what's up?
Let's see. I'll just change my plate.
That looks bad.
Alright, we made our change, so alright. I'm gonna join this guy right here. Oh, nope. Let's try this guy. By the time I get done with this, that other bike should be ready.
We're done.
Okay. On this part right here, remember not to run, because you're going to get that alert right there. And there's a lot of people who are tapping X to run and they're accidentally accepting this alert. And of course you don't want to do that. So after you accept that alert, you can run, but just use caution when you do that. Alright, so I'm going to pull out with this rough in here. Alright, we're going to look. It's crazy how it does this with the tires or whatever, but it's just how it works. So we're going to get off so it disappears. And I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to go ahead and it's important to get back on the roughing and set the rims on that bike, because once you put the modifications onto the Sanchez, remember you won't have any wheel options, so you need to go ahead and make sure that you have these options set before you transfer. Everybody likes to use the solidest wheels, and just for that fact I purposely use other than solidest wheels. And of course, make sure you're going into stock and not chrome. I'm just going to pick something different. It doesn't really matter. I'll go with these right here.
That's the one.
Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and change the back ones as well. Where was that option at? Right there. Alright. So now that I have this set the way I want to. Oh, and if you want this option here, you might want to do this now too. It's really no big deal. It just puts the words on one side of the tire, but either way. Alright. So I have this bike set the way that I want it. Thank you everybody for joining in. Hope everybody is having a good day. What's up, Jordan, Dark Angel, King Julian, Sherrod? How y'all doing? Alright, now let's go outside and hopefully I'll call the right one the first time. Probably not, but we'll get it either way. I have been having a little bit of difficulties with the merge. It's just some crazy stuff that happens. Like sometimes the screen will freeze, or you know, you'll go to walk into another garage and it'll just get stuck or whatever. What I recommend doing, so you don't have to waste so much time trying to come back in, when I get that thing where it'll kind of have me stuck where I can turn the camera and I can't move, what I do is when I get that second alert, instead of denying it and then having to like suspend the app or whatever and you know come back on, what I've been doing is actually just accepting that alert, so it'll go ahead and put me in another session, and you know I'll be right inside my arena anyway, so then I can just you know reset up and continue on without having to take that extra time to get back online from suspending the app. So that's the one that I previously was using, so I should just go to the next one that's available right here. This should be the plain one. Now remember when I showed you in the options, when you buy this Sanchez with the livery, it only gives you 4 livery options. Some people may know this, some people may not. This is why I'm making this video. Just gonna go ahead and get this one out, have it sent back to the clubhouse. I've actually figured out a lot of stuff with this merge. There's been a lot of people making the videos, and they'll make a video about this, and then later on they'll make a video about that. I've been planning on actually trying to do a live stream where I'm kind of like trying to show like what's available, like all in one thing. Like how to add like certain parts, remove certain parts, that kind of jazz. But
What's it going
everybody's
to be?
been really
So,
busy, so
what's up?
I don't know how many viewers I'm going to get, because everybody's trying to get done what they can before this all gets patched. But either way, I had this bike set, I have the Sanchez ready to go, so I'm going to come back in here. Alright.
What are we doing there?
And what I recommend, so that you don't never get that frozen screen or the stuck screen or whatever, is like whenever you're going to do something and you see a loading going on, just wait for the loading to get done before you try to proceed, because if you're pressing the buttons too quickly, I'm thinking that's what's kind of making things freeze up. So I'm not for sure about that, but I'm just assuming that's what's going on. So instead of trying to fly through this, I'm letting everything load up. And when you're trying to join on somebody and it's saying failed, I'm guessing what's going on there is that they're either like switching sessions, or they're like trying to load into a mission or something like that. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so now we're going to go grab this Sanchez, and we're going to hop on it. We're going to pull out like we do with everything else. Okay, now that you see that I have the color wheels up here with the street tires, and I have the atomic written on the tires. Okay, now technically this would be done, but obviously this doesn't make any sense going on with the livery or whatever. So I'm just going to hop off of this. It's going to disappear like it should. Now here's where that hidden livery comes in, and I'm calling it a hidden livery because it's not available when you actually purchase this bike. But after you have done the merge, this livery becomes available. And like I said, some people might know this, a lot of people probably don't. Me personally, I just never paid it any mind. So I'm going to hit right on the D-pad, so that way I go into the mod shop.
So, what's up?
Alright. So we're going to go into where it says respray. And the only option that it's going to give you is a livery. Now you see this. These first 4 liveries are the only ones that are available when you purchase this bike. But after you've purchased this bike, you get this livery. It's called the Fort Zancudo livery. Again, I'm going to remind you that this livery is not available when you purchase this bike. So I've already done one with this livery, so I was just doing this to show you. So for this one, I guess I'm just going to go with this livery right here. Whatever. What's up, Shane? How you doing, bro? Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, have fun.
So just remember when you're doing the thing with the Sanchez, of course, since you're trying to put the street tires up there, which you absolutely cannot do unless you're doing this, um, try to get you a couple of different ones, and that way you can have them stocked up, and you'll more than likely have a few different ones that a lot of other people are not going to have. It just depends on what kind of colors you have to work with. Me, I'm throwing around what I got. I haven't really picked up any cars in like the last few months, so just anything that I've had used or had put up, set to the side, forgot about until now kind of thing. But just remember, when you're trying to do that, you're going to want to use this bike right here. The Pegasi Ruffin or Roofin or however the hell you want to say it. Either way, it's there, you see it. This is the bike that you're going to want to use. Just remember to set the rims as you want it on this bike, because once you transfer over to the Sanchez, you will not be able to change your rim style. So just remember that. I think I might be able to show you guys something else too. If I can get to the nightclub, I'll get to there. Guess the next thing I'll show you is some this was going around a little bit yesterday. There's quite a few people who's got the party bus, and they have it in a regular car slot. But of course, when you get that, I mean, you'll get the color, and you can get like the color on the wheels and stuff like that. But pretty much you only get a platform that's on the top, and that's it. No speakers, no anything. So for this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to actually get the speakers on top of the truck. I mean, on top of the party bus. There is a way to get all components on top of the party bus, but you're going to have one specific thing to do that with. You're going to have a modded saddler that has all the parts on it. The push bar, the lights, the bed cover, the ladder rack. You're going to have a saddler that has all of that on it to be able to get all the components on the party bus. That is something nobody else is going to try to tell you, but you heard it here. What's up, bro? I can help you with that. I actually did my MOC, I did my own AA trailer yesterday, and I did it with a two-tone, so that way I had the short cab truck on my MOC, so that way when I put everything onto my MOC, it actually gave me a two-tone on my MOC cab, and unlike the previous way of getting a colored wheel onto your MOC, like normally, like if you had a colored wheel on the AA trailer, you could try to throw it over to the MOC, but for some reason the MOC would give you a scratch colored wheel. Well, the way that this was going on yesterday, I actually got the modded color that I put on my AA trailer, and it actually went to the MOC without scratching anything. Right. Yeah. Now on this party bus, for my viewers here, on this party bus, I normally wouldn't want to change this right here, but I already have a whole different one that looks just like this, just has just some different wheels on it. So for the purpose of the video, I'll use this one so I can show you how to put that up there. Hmm. Yeah, it might be the party buses that I had. Like I've had them put up since that giving the party bus away was going on. I could check with some people. They might know how to still do it. I'm not for sure. Yeah, Corey,
You're through to your
sad
garage. You
enough, and you
need
can
me to
use the
bring you a ride?
Panto for like billions of different things trying to do this merge with or whatever. But when it comes to doing that saddler, about the best you're going to get from that Panto with the saddler is the push bar and the KC lights on the top. It's not going to give you the bed cover or the ladder rack. At least I haven't. I've tried like 1,000 times different ways to try to do it. I'm gonna do this party. I'm gonna do this party bus while I'm in the live stream, and when I get done with this party bus, I'll end the live stream, and I'll help you do that AA trailer.
It's on the way.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. We'll have me and you, but we will need a third person to help. Well, the only way to get everything on the saddler is not just through PC, but you're pretty much going to have to know somebody who has one and is willing to give it up. There's, I mean, I know a guy I can get one from without a problem, but that's me. Like, I do know a lot of people who have those saddlers with everything on them. They are not willing to give those things up at all. But I happen to have something this guy wants, so that's like a win-win situation. So I will end up making another video after I do get that saddler to show you that everything will go onto the party bus. Yes, that's right. If you do go looking for one, make sure it has all the components. Because just say if it's missing a component, I mean, I don't know exactly what parts put what on the bus, but if it's, just say if it's missing the ladder rack, I mean, you might get the speakers, you might get the turntable, but you might not get the skull on top of it. You know what I mean? So it just depends, but try to make sure at least it has all the components on it. I've had a community. I've made like 2 different communities before, but what what I found with that is, I might would have had like 4 or 5 people in there who were actual like, there really ain't no other way to say it, but you know, they were actual like loyal and shit, and they were like, you know, they were posting stuff like. I was having a problem with people posting stuff, and then when people commented on their stuff or they wanted to trade, like people would just sit there and ignore them and stuff, or they would just post stuff that they didn't have no intents on trading or anything. And I'm like, yo, why are you coming in the community posting pictures that you don't have no intent on trying to trade with anybody? And I mean, it starts problems. It'll start problems in the community. It'll start problems between people, and you don't even know nothing about this until one day you got two people in a lobby together, and all of a sudden they're fighting with each other, and you don't even know why in the hell they're fighting with each other. I have people inviting me to communities and stuff like that, and I'm like, look, I have no problems with you, and I have no problems with half the people in there, but I'm not going to join the community because I can't name a community that I've been in or one that I've made myself that that kind of stuff hasn't happened. It just, it always happens. Right.
What are we doing then? What can I do?
So of course we, you know, for this party bus, we're going to use this Panto, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I put all the stock parts back on this Panto. And if it's already selected, you're going to have to pick a different one and then go back to stock. Alright.
Looking good.
No, that's the wrong one. I'm going to put that there. And where was I at?
What's it going to be? So, what's up? We're done. Good.
Remember what I said on this part, walk until you get that alert. I mean, I'm just trying to stress that point because I know that, and even yesterday I was still jumping out the car running and accepting that stupid ass alert. I'm going to try to figure out how to get all of this stuff on the party bus plus obtain a livery. I'm going to figure it out. I just haven't. And there you have it. You have the party bus with the modded color, and you have the speakers on the top. And like I said, you're going to have to use that saddler if you want the turntable and and the skull stage part up there. You're going to have that if you want all of that. But for now, with this, at least you can get the speakers up there so it's not just a plain platform. I am going to be working later today with this some more with the party bus to try to figure out how to get all of that plus a livery up there so it's not just a plain bus. So I'll probably end up with like 4 or 5 of these fucking things before it's all over with. And another thing is, once you get the speakers on top of the party bus, you're probably going to have to play around with placement with it before it'll actually be in a good spot where you can get back in it, because what it's going to try to do is it's going to try to, I've come in and the damn party bus was completely upside down. I've come in, it was sideways. Almost always there's a speaker laying in the floor somewhere. I mean, you see what's going on right here. And now obviously if I wanted to do anything else with this party bus, I would not be able to get in this bus right now. So there are some parts of the floor where it will kind of sit where it wants, I mean where it needs to be. Let's see, that's right there, right here. Now you see right here, I got it sitting right here. Now if I wanted to, let's see, I can access this door. So just make sure whenever you're trying to place this thing in here after you've gotten the speakers up there, is, you know, try to get it somewhere where you can get in that door. Got a super low rider party bus. That would be kind of badass if you can just pull up to the spot with the party bus and just drop the whole bus to the ground. I did this Karuma right here yesterday too with the glitch seats. Now, I remember before I did this Karuma, it had glitch seats in it, but the glitch seats that were in there, like, I know sometimes I could come to the car and I couldn't hardly see it. Sometimes I couldn't even see it at all. So when you're picking the glitch seats to go in the Karuma, just remember when you're changing through the suspension, each one of those selections will give you a different kind of glitch seat. So I think I picked the second to the last option, and that's what gave me these seats right here, which, I mean, sometimes I can come in here and I can see this glitchy seat from way over here. Also, I used that Panto for the Mamba right here, and with this Mamba here, I don't know if you notice it, you might not can see it too good, maybe you can, but the windshield, it gave me the double window here. It's kind of got that short tinted window down at the bottom, but then it still got the whole windshield in the front. I got the roof with the roll bar, with the bars that go behind the headrest. And as far as the roof goes, you could either have one or the other, but this has all. And I just used the Panto to do that. You just got to make sure that you have it glitched out, and then just put all the stock parts on it. You don't have to add like the spoiler or the push bar to the front. None of that. Just put the stock parts on. That's all you got to do.
What are we doing then? What can I do?
And as always, after you've used the panto or whatever and you've applied the parts or whatever, I mean, you're gonna need this thing to do a lot of different vehicles with. So I'm always going to make sure that I put
What's it going to be?
that panto back the way it
There
needs
you
to
go.
be. Well, the Mamba with everything is not going to work for the bus for the simple fact that it takes less on the Panto to put everything on the Mamba than what's actually required to add the speakers to the party bus. I do like that idea, and I did try that yesterday, and it just didn't work. I mean, the color and the rims and everything like switched over, but it just didn't add anything else to the bus. Let me make sure I got this thing set right. I don't think I do. I was just looking at it.
I think I
Okay.
just got a hard
The
on. Nice.
fifth lid, fourth livery. Alright, should be good there.
Sweet. Okay, later.
And remember, you're going to get that next alert. As long as I pick the right options, this will be the way I want it. Yep. There you go. So, you know, just for those who might not have known, that's why I kind of showed you that when you're trying to get all the parts glitched off the Panto, you can merge it with other cars and you'll be missing most of the parts, but depending on what parts you've already had selected to that car, just say if you've already selected a modified bumper on that car, when you try to merge to the Panto, you might be missing the roof and some of the other things, but you might end up actually still having the bumper on the Panto or the skirts or whatever. So I always just go back to my RC car to do that with. So that way I know for a fact if I use the number 5 lid and the number 4 livery from the RC car, it's going to completely glitch all the parts off of the Panto every time. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you don't have to keep resetting the Panto every time. If you're trying to add certain parts to other vehicles and you've already added those stock parts to the Panto, just make sure you don't leave the session and just grab that Panto again and merge from that Panto to the other car, and it will put the parts on the way you need it to. And for those who don't know, when you're using the Panto and you're trying to figure out how to get the Super Slam van or the Super Slam Saber, you actually don't have to add anything else to the Panto. Just make sure that the Panto has this suspension on it right here before you do the merge.
So, what's up? What are we doing then?
So if I was to be doing a Saber or a Slam van right now, I would just come in here, go to the suspension, and make sure that you have the competition suspension selected. That's all you need to do. And then from there, you can do your merge and you'll get the Super Slam Slam Van or the Super Slam Sabre Turbo. So just make sure you remember that to use the competition suspension.
Okay, bye bye.
But thanks everybody for joining in. That'll be all for now. I will be trying to come back later if I can get that saddler to show you how to put everything onto the party bus. Um, I'm also going to make another video, like I said, where I'm going to go through a bunch of other things showing you how to add these extra parts, like with the trophy truck, showing you how to take the parts off. What is it, the Rusty Rebel as well. I did one of those yesterday. I actually removed everything off of that truck completely. It was kind of weird, but looked cool, all in the same. But again, thanks everybody for joining in. Hopefully you have picked up this information and you're able to use it. If you have any problems with anything, just send me a message and I will try my best to get to you to help you. And oh, my YouTube channel is Killer Kales Gaming. Yeah. But again, I hope everybody has had a good morning. I hope you continue to have a good rest of your day, evening, whatever the time frame might be where you're at. And again, like I said, if you need help with anything, let me know. If you have any questions or whatever, definitely send them to me. I've been sitting ever since this started the other day. I've sat down and I have gone through just about every single thing that I can think of. If you're having problems with that lifeguard blazer, let me know. I have been able to put all the components onto the lifeguard blazer, the float and the little toolbox on the back of it and everything, and still have a modded color wheel. So if you can't quite figure that out, I'll answer those questions for you. I'll show you mine, show you how I done it. But again, hope you all have a good day, and this is your boy Killer Kells Gaming signing out. Peace out.